Hello, business family. This is Jay Reynolds. Now, I got a question for you. Are you interested in law enforcement or crime investigation? Do you see yourself involved in the criminal justice system in any way that, let's say, impacts our community? Today, we get to talk to a person who decided to use his experiences and his education to do just that. Hello again. My name is Jay Reynolds. I own Wolf Creek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing firm, and you know that this is the business of Black business. It's a show that's designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be Black business owners to start and to scale a business. It's really a unique opportunity to gain access to very successful business owners and thought leaders and to hear how they did it. I really want you to be in the room. Um, Today we get to talk to Derrick St. Ford. Derrick is a board certified criminal defense investigator and the author of Mitigation and Justice, where the truth meets the heart of the story. Derrick has 2 decades of experience working as a criminal defense investigator at the both the state and the federal level. So Derrick, hey, thank you for being on the show. How are you?
I am pretty good, and it's an honor to be here with you. I've seen your show, and you've been doing some great work in the community. Thank you, Jay, for having me.
Oh, hey, no, thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But tell me, first of all, I really want to know who you are, not the stuff from your bio, right? Who are you? Who are your mentors? What makes you you, Derrick?
Well, me, I am of Haitian descent. I am born and raised out of Liberty City, Miami,
Liberty
305.
City. You watch
Exact.
that place. That place is changing on you.
It is transforming. Like the way it used to be is no longer there. But I'll
Yes.
talk about my upbringing because my upbringing, I mean, it showed a lot of what it used to be. Um, Unfortunately, I had some good moments there, but also some difficult moments.
Sure. As we
If
all
you
do.
if you are familiar with Liberty City, it's a difficult place to be raised in. There was a lot of crime. There was a lot of violence. Seeing my mother raise us, being a single parent, it was difficult. It was quite difficult seeing her uh, trying to stretch every dollar she made to make it work. And I
Hmm.
truly appreciate all of her efforts. And it instilled those values in me. And I became who I am. I was able to go to college. I attended Florida State University, go Noles, the Garnet. And I took the steps necessary to become a board certified criminal defense investigator.
Hey, my hat's off to single Black women. They make this
Absolutely.
world turn, and she's responsible for making you the man that you are today. And I'm a product of that as well. So my hat goes off to your mom.
My hats goes
Now,
out to your mom as well.
you hold a master's degree in social work, and I want to know how your background in social work shaped the way you approach criminal justice and as well as your storytelling.
Absolutely. So I didn't say that at the beginning of the show. So I wear two professional hats. I'm a
Yes,
board
absolutely, you do. Yeah, you do.
I'm a board certified criminal defense investigator, and I'm also a mitigation specialist. So that investigator position, it allows me to be the fact finder. So I go out into the community and I search for facts. Facts that attorneys and the defense team can utilize in a criminal defense. But my mitigation hat, it focuses on telling a client's story. So because I went to get my master's, I took courses such as psychopathology, chemical dependency, social work practice, child dependency. These are courses that I was able to easily utilize the tools so I can implement them in my everyday practice. Amazing work from getting a master's degree.
Well, you talk about mitigation, but that's a term that's going to be unfamiliar to most people. Tell me tell me what in the context of your work, what does that mean, and why is it often overlooked?
So I'm glad you asked that question. So everybody knows what an investigator does. It's synonymous with a private investigator, a detective.
Hmm.
We go out and search for facts.
And we watch
But
CSI and all of that kind of good
yeah,
stuff. So,
it's popular, so we get an idea. But another important person that's a part of the defense team is the mitigation specialist. So what we often know about is the crime, right? We focus on the crime and we judge a person based off of the mistake that they've made. But what we don't often do is go into the details of how they got there. So being a mitigation specialist, I'm able to tell the whole entire story from the beginning to the end, because that allows me to go deep into their childhood trauma, go into their addictions, if they have intellectual deficits,
mhm.
if they have mental health issues that probably push them in a position to commit something that, if they're unhealthy, they make horrible decisions. So
Right.
that's why it's so important. So you hear the whole entire story, so the judge, the audience, and everybody else could render the best judgment.
Yeah, I mean, those extenuating circumstances have really played an important role in the determining, the whole story, right?
Absolutely,
A whole
absolutely.
story, not just the crime that we hear or what happened to the victims or all those things. You really need to understand what the total picture looks like.
Absolutely. And it's important to understand the criminal aspect of it as well, but we have to just expand our view a little bit to see every
Okay,
single step that led to that point.
perfect. Now, in your book, you talk about truth meeting the heart of the story. Can you explain it? You just talked about it, touched on it, but can you explain what that phrase means and why it's important?
Absolutely. So it's about compassion, it's
Okay.
about humanity, it's about understanding that people make mistakes and that our mistakes do not define our character. Our mistakes do not define our whole entire existence. We all make mistakes and we can do better. And the only way that we can do better is to find the root cause of that issue. And the way you find the root cause to those issues is by telling the whole entire story. It's like Alcohol Anonymous. If you don't admit you have a problem, you would never.
Never can get past it.
And that's what it is, telling the whole entire story so you can realize what the problem is, so you can make a solution right after.
Now, in your book, I guess the thing for me, it's kind of groundbreaking, but I really want to understand what inspired you to write this book. I mean, obviously, you're passionate about this, and I get it. I feel it. I hear it in your voice, right? However, what inspired you to write this book?
My inspiration was drawn from the infant stages of my career. I remember being a Florida State student, a senior, and I decided to take on an internship at the public defender's office because I know I would gain a lot of experience and I
Hmm.
wanted to help people that look like me. And I remember my very first client, he was at the Leon County Jail and he was going through a psychotic episode. And
Hmm.
as a 19, 20-year-old kid, I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't have
Wow, that's
the
traumatic.
foundation.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I didn't have a supervisor who had that mitigation experience. He was a great investigator, but we need that mitigation experience to provide them with the resources. And that's what sparked the idea. I went back to school, I took those courses, and I was able to fall into the role of becoming a mitigation specialist. And I've been doing it ever since for 20 years.
Wow. Hey, you don't even look like you're 20 years old, man.
Thank you
But
so
hey, that,
much.
that that is truly amazing. Now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to learn more about your perspective on humanizing the system. You talk a lot about that in some of your works, and as well as the book. I want to drill down into trying to understand exactly what that means to you and what it should mean to me as a person on the outside in looking in the criminal justice system. Okay, we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vice Mayor Yvette Colburn, inviting you to Juneteenth Family Day, a celebration of freedom, independence, and history. Thursday, June 19th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Miramar City Hall Plaza. Bring the entire family for line dance and art exhibits and an exciting step show and so much more, featuring guest speaker Dr. Eddie Claude Jr. Register now at JuneteenthFamilyDay.eventbrite.com.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. Two powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, one legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Did you know that about 32% of all items thrown into the trash could be recycled?
Recycling right is a big deal for our planet.
By recycling right, you're helping protect our planet.
The Solid Waste Authority of Broward County is working on a master plan for our future garbage and recycling systems, and we need your input.
Please attend one of our upcoming public meetings to learn about the master plan. The same info will be shared at both meetings, so choose the one that works best for your schedule.
And your opinion really matters.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Feel the spirit move you at Gospel Fest Miami Weekend, a powerful 3-day celebration of faith, culture, and community at the Arch. Experience soul-stirring performances by gospel legends like Michelle Williams, Ty Tribbett, Gia Wire, and more. Engage in powerful conversations, watch a moving gospel documentary, and enjoy pre-show receptions that bring the community together. Join us June 20th through 22nd. Get your tickets today at archcenter.org.
And welcome back. We're talking to Derrick St. Ford, author as well as investigator. Derrick, there's a role to be played in trying to, let's call it, create a more legal, a more just legal process. And sometimes non-legal professionals like social workers, investigators, and counselors play a role in that. Why don't you talk to us about, give us your perspective on how that helps to humanize the system?
Absolutely. So just from a human perspective, what tends to happen is that we all judge a book by its cover, unfortunately.
The minute we walk into a room, or the minute we talk to somebody, or the minute we see a tattoo on a hand or a braid.
Absolutely. You know? All important points, right? But we sort of put the justice system on a higher standard. But what if I were to tell you that they do something slightly worse? What if I told you that they get the book, they not only judge it by its cover, but they skim the pages and go to the very last chapter, and they read that chapter and make that judgment? Well, that last chapter represents that criminal element, the criminal charge. And we know that if you read only the last chapter, you don't know everything about the book. And that's what mitigation is about. And that's what people like social workers and people who work in a mental health field, how they contribute to this work, because it helps tell the whole story.
Wow. It's got to be so important, because I got to tell you how many times people get, I don't want to use the word railroaded, but they don't get the due process purely because of some subjectivity that somebody brings into the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're not being looked at objectively. They're being judged, and the story may not be anywhere near correct, but they're basically getting the ramifications of that. Being judged by a system that really doesn't care in many cases.
Absolutely. And I'll give you one even better. If they did make that mistake on purpose, but it's out of desperation, we tend to like overlook the humanistic aspect of it because we all go through problems.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a tough economy, and people make mistakes when they are in dire need. And we have to place that into perspective and provide the people with resources so they could avoid making those mistakes. That's what mitigation is all about.
Right. Hey, I got to tell you, you back up against the wall and you have to feed your kids. Who knows what you're capable of doing? You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the truth.
Now, you've worked in both state and federal cases. How have you noticed the difference in how mitigation is handled between both state and local?
Well, they work quite similarly, as long as that story is told. However, I would say on a state level, a lot of people get overlooked. And it's unfortunate because of the amount of cases that they're just pushed through the system. So on a state level, their stories are told periodically. And this is the reason why I wrote this book. It's because of, their stories aren't told often. And we need that space to make sure that it's done. Same thing with the feds, but the feds is a lot more comprehensive and complex, so their stories are told more. But we need to continue to do this so people can be aware.
How much do you think the privatizing of the prison system is causing the opportunity for those stories to be told less?
And I'm glad you asked that question. So the privatization of prisons, that's a different element where, let's say a person is incarcerated and they require rehabilitation of some sort. These privatized industries, they don't provide those elements as much.
No.
It's not required. And that's a part of telling the story because
it's not a part of their business model, nor is it profitable for them to tell that story. It's better for them to get those beds full.
It's a part of their business model and it's working quite well for them. But when we talk about the actual individual, how can they maybe mental health issues, provide them with housing, they'll provide them with meals, and so on and so forth. That's the point, because we want to redirect this behavior. We want to provide them with resources so they can make better choices for themselves.
Now, are those programs out there that you can actually redirect those types of people, and are they being affected by budget cuts over the course of this last Florida administration?
They are out there, but you're absolutely right. Every program is facing budget cuts, but we can't let that hinder us. We have to continue to tell these stories, and as we talk about these stories, maybe it can influence government decisions. Because it affects us. It affects your family. It affects your cousin, your neighbors. It affects all of us.
Change. Give me 2 or 3 things that you think, as you have written a book and as you have worked in this judicial system for the last 20 years, what are some of the top 3 things that you think need to change?
Oh man, there's so many things.
I know. And we could talk about this for hours, but I really want to know the things that you think are the most impactful. Give me 3.
Yeah. So for me, and I talk about this in my book, is our stories aren't told enough. We want to make sure our stories are told, and that's the primary one. Number 2, provide rehabilitation. We don't have a lot of rehabilitative resources to help individuals. And number 3, education. Unfortunately, a lot of individuals who find themselves intertwined in the criminal justice system lacks education, and we need to provide education. Needs to be free, and that's just my general idea.
I say always 2 things. Education, an opportunity will change everything. They're game changers. Education plus opportunities or entrepreneurship. And that's why we do this show. Now, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the business side of what you do. I really want to drill down into that. But we're going to go off and take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vice Mayor Yvette Colburn, inviting you to Juneteenth Family Day, a celebration of freedom, independence, and history. Thursday, June 19th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Miramar City Hall Plaza. Bring the entire family for line dancing, art exhibits, and an exciting step show, and so much more, featuring guest speaker Dr. Eddie Claude Jr. Register now at JuneteenthFamilyDay.eventbrite.com.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. Two powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, one legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeBlossomClassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Did you know that about 32% of all items thrown into the trash could be recycled?
Recycling right is a big deal for our planet.
By recycling right, you're helping protect our planet.
The Solid Waste Authority of Broward County is working on a master plan for our future garbage and recycling systems, and we need your input.
Please attend one of our upcoming public meetings to learn about the master plan. The same info will be shared at both meetings, so choose the one that works best for your schedule.
And your opinion really matters.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Feel the spirit move you at Gospel Fest Miami Weekend, a powerful 3-day celebration of faith, culture, and community at the Arch. Experience soul-stirring performances by gospel legends like Michelle Williams, Ty Tribbett, Gia Wire, and more. Engage in powerful conversations, watch a moving gospel documentary, and enjoy pre-show receptions that bring the community together. Join us June 20th through 22nd. Get your tickets today at archcenter.org.
Welcome back, and we're talking about something that's just really, really, really important. It's leveling the judicial playing field. Now, this show is about the business of Black business, right? And I really want to understand, how does that work into the ecosystem that you're a part of? Is there a business behind mitigation work that people don't understand?
Absolutely. I don't actually practice mitigation for the general public, but what I do is provide educational information. I work in public service, and I've been doing that for over 20 long years, and I gain
you dedicated your young life to that. That is an absolute fact.
I did. So I gained all of this experience, and as a Black man, I thought it was important for me to provide the information, the expertise, the tools that I've gathered to the people that I serve. And the only way that I can meet them where they're at is to create my business. This is kind of like a public service, sort of public health type business where I'm reaching people before they find themselves intertwined in the criminal justice system. That's the point of it, because they don't receive this information the way they should. They end up receiving it after they get intertwined in the justice system. And I want to make sure they're aware of it.
After it's too freaking late, right?
Yeah, that's the point of it.
What advice would you give to others, especially Black professionals who want to pursue careers in criminal justice or reform or mitigation?
Well, I would say for them to educate themselves. Education is the primary goal. So once you learn what it is that you're interested in the field, because the field is so broad, you can narrow it down. Number two, I would say get a mentor. Get a mentor. Mentorship is extremely important and is underrated because that'll cut some corners for you. They'll direct you where you need to be. And number three, I would say join organizations that are doing the work, because there's plenty of organizations that may be out there that could point you in the right direction. And I offer some of those services too, so I can educate the public. So you can go to my website, www.mitigationandjustice.com, and learn more about mitigation and the other work that we do.
That's, we're running out of time, but that's a couple of things that I really wanted to do. I want to understand how can people purchase the book and connect with you and your work and your services? And you just gave us a website, but why don't you do that again really quick?
Absolutely. You can find me on my social media websites. I provide short form videos about mitigation and second chances in the justice system. My tag name is Mitigation and Justice. Go ahead and follow me. Go ahead and review the video. But if you want more, if you want to learn more, go purchase my book on my website. It's www.mitigationandjustice.com.
Hey, I really appreciate what you do, right? You are, in my opinion, an unsung hero, brother. I appreciate what you do, and we have got to try to see if we can do whatever we can to derail this train that takes people from uncertainty to prison. We have got to find a way to derail that train. Anyway, to my business family, thank you for watching. Be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and join us next week when we'll talk about more stories that affect the Black community, Black excellence. Until then, I want you to keep building, continue to make a difference. And Derrick, again, I appreciate what you do. This is a business of Black business. My name is Jay Reynolds. I own Wolf Creek Consulting. We're a top-ranked executive staffing firm. Thanks, Legacy Magazine, for making this important. And we'll see you next time. I always say that if it is to be, it's up to me. See you next time.